Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Honorable to the lecturer, Mr. Udi Samanhudi, and all my beloved friends. Firstly, I would like to thank to the Almighty God, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and it's because of Him we are able to attend this meeting. Secondly, may salawat and salam always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He had brought us from the darkness to the lightness. Okay, everyone, let me as a moderator to lead you all on this meeting. Before we start the presentation, we would like to introduce ourselves. Okay, first,
Okay, my name is Tiara Maharani, and next.
And me, Auntie Sulisanti. Next.
My name is Rasuna S, and next.
My name is Wulandari Saputri, and the last.
My name is Novita Nur Istiqomah.
Okay, we already introduced ourselves, so let's start the presentation. Today we are going to talk about healthy use of gadgets. The first material about what is gadget will be delivered by Auntie Sulisanti. Auntie, time is yours.
Okay, thanks Rahayu. And now I will explain about definitions of gadget. So gadget is an absorption word taken from English, which when interpreted as a small electronic device with a special functions and undergoing runway. Gadget are identified with novelty elements that differentiate them from other electronic devices. Every day there will be new gadgets that appear equipped with the latest technology that is also increasingly sophisticated. Meanwhile, if it's mentioned in Indonesian, gadget is a gadget. Even so, the use of the word gadget is more widely used today than the gadget. And gadgets are evidence of technological developments, and their existence is also considered important. And for this reason, almost everyone now has a gadget with a variety of functions. However, the main functions of the gadget itself is as a communications medium. Another functions of the gadget is as means of making it easier to get information. With the existence of gadgets, nowadays humans can easily access the internet to obtain information. And definitions of gadget according to Garini Dalam Rohman, he said that gadgets are small electronic devices that have many functions. And according to Derry said that the gadget is an instrument or electronic device. And the last, gadget according to the KBBI or in bahasa is Kamus Besar Bahasa Indonesia, gadget is an electronic or mechanical device that has a practical functions. Maybe that's all for me. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Auntie, for the great explanation. History of gadgets will be delivered by Novita Nur Istiqomah. Isti, time is yours.
Okay, thanks to the moderator. Here I want to tell the history of the existence of gadgets. The beginning of the emergence of gadget cannot be explained fully. This is because the word gadget isn't a symbol of an item or object, but a classification of many types of components such as mobile phones. For this reason, when we talk about the history of gadget, it means the same as discussing the history of mobile devices. Initially, the term of handphone wasn't known because the communication tool at that time was still using cable intermediaries or using radio signals, namely walkie-talkies. At that time, the telephone device wasn't fully called a gadget because its use was still relatively difficult at 35 pounds. Then in the first and second generation, the phone was modified so that it was lighter and already used a mini antenna to pick up radio signals. Entering the third generation, the operating system on mobile phone was introduced such as Android, Symbian, and Java. Since then, internet users have been introduced and the function of mobile phones has begun to be similar to that of PCs. Meanwhile, when entering the fourth generation until now, the term of smartphones that uses 4G signals technology appears. Next slide. Then I will mention the types of gadget. Gadget consists of many types and each has a different function. Here are some types of gadgets that are commonly used in our everyday life. The first, there's a mobile phone, computer or laptop, iPads and tablets, headset and headphones, 3D television, consoles, and so on. That's all from me. I will return back to Bang Ratan.
Thank you, Isti, for the great explanation. So the next material about why everyone needs gadget will be delivered by Tiara Maharani. Tiara, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ayu. I will explain why everyone needs gadgets. Uh, Gadgets are evidence of technological development, and their existence is also considered important. Many people feel anxious if they are far away from gadgets. Therefore, gadgets are needed by many people. There are several reasons why gadgets are needed by many people. First, gadget allow us to make contact, share information, and communicate with others. With the existence of gadgets, human can now easily access the internet to obtain information. And second, the gadgets can store photos, site links, and other personal information. It can describe personality through ringtones and wallpapers that are selected according to our wishes. This way, the phone can be personalized, increasing its value as an object of attachment and acting as a human surrogate. However, the main function of the gadget is as a medium of communication. And next, impact of gadgets. And I will explain the good impact of using gadget. First, make it easier for human to communicate remotely. With gadgets, we can communicate remotely without bothering to write letters, like in ancient communication before the creation of tools that make it easier for us to communicate. In addition, for example, if a student has task that is not understood, they can ask their friend quickly via gadget or via media social or so on. Next is of getting information. Information is very important for every student. Therefore, with gadget, they can more easily open various sites to find the information they need. In addition, they will not miss the actual news that is being discussed. And next, media entertainment. Gadgets provide us with lots of options to entertain ourselves, such as playing games, reading reading online stories or comics, watching funny video, and etc. And the last one is personal data storage media. Gadgets nowadays are often used for personal data storage because their memory capacity is getting bigger day by day, and also gadgets, especially cell phones, are very easy to access and take it anywhere. I think that's enough for me, and I will give it back to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tiara, for the great explanation. So the next material about bad impacts of using gadget will be delivered by me. So the first is traffic accident. While driving is unpredictable things. In unexpected times, accident can happen anytime and anywhere without us expecting it. As a result, this situation is very dangerous and can even threaten our lives. Traffic accidents in Indonesia continue to be at more than 100,000 cases per year. According to data from PT Jasara Harja, number of victims of traffic accident reached around 78,000 people from January to September 2021. Meanwhile, the data from the Ministry of Communication and Information recorded that every day an average of 3 people died because of accidents. The main causes are human factors, vehicle factors, traffic facilities, and infrastructure. Then, with the highest percentage, 61% came from human factors. So, the solution that we can use to avoid accidents due to using gadgets while driving are first is don't use gadgets behind the wheel. It means that we have to avoid using gadgets as much as possible while driving because it can cause the driver to lose focus. And the second, if it feels emergency and force us to use gadgets while driving, for example, pick up calls or reply to important message, then some tips can be applied. First, connect the gadget to the device in the vehicle. It is possible to certain vehicle so that when an incoming call comes, it will be automatically answered and we don't need to hold the gadget to talk. And the second option is installing SOS tracker and emergency call application. Drivers need to install application with the SOS feature on a smartphone that is connected to their car. This SOS feature application will generally provide first aid for motorists in an emergency. The SOS application will be more complete with a tracker application, functioning to notify the position of the driver who is in an emergency. The tracker application will easily do it. The emergency call application installed on the smartphone must of course function 24 hours a day, considering that no one knows when an accident will occur. For example, a driver should have an SOS feature app that will connect him to the authorities when his car breaks down. In addition, it is also important to have an application that can connect the rider to the operator who is ready to help in the event of an accident. This, of course, can make motorists get medical assistance or police assistance more quickly. Okay, that's all from me. And the next material about physical and psychological health problems will be delivered by Rasuna S. Rasuna, time is yours.
Alright, thank you, moderator. Now I will to explain about physical and psychological health problems. Gadgets can indeed help in life. However, the development of gadgets is undeniable. It can also cause various things health problems. The rapid development of gadgets makes human life easier. However, behind there are many positive sides. The use of gadgets brings a lot of problems health at all ages. The following health problems generated by gadgets. The first is exercise anxiety. According to a study published in the Indian Journal of Psychiatry, nomophobia or mobile phone phobia is a type of anxiety disorder caused by not holding cell phone. Like addicts, people with this condition can take off the phone anytime and anywhere. Moment the phone is not in the hands of the software, they will feel a strong fear so that it can interfere daily activities. And the second is trigger finger. Playing cell phones for too long means using exercise hands and perform repetitive movements on the fingers. This condition will trigger inflammation and swelling of the tendons due to immobility fluid and agglomerate to permeability. This inflammation, which makes the tendon unable to move freely, so that the fingers are stiff in one position. The third is fusion problems. The screen of the gadget gives off a light called high visible energy or commonly known as a blue light harmful to the eyes. The risks of a problem such as computer vision syndrome, a symptom that arises due to eyes are to focus on the screen that it causes feels uncomfortable if done in a period that is too long. In addition, prolonged use of a gadgets can also cause nearsightedness or myopia. And the last is addiction to pay, and the last is digestive problems. Its addiction to buying gadgets often makes people forget to eat and drink. Long-term consequences will cause diseases such as focus, dehydration, and others. And the solution to overcome health problems caused by addiction to buying gadgets include the first is do some new hobbies and increase activities in the real world, such as gardening, reading books, playing board games, and so on. And the second is increase socialization with other people. And the last is using gadgets properly. It's like don't play the gadget too close to the eye, at least 30 centimeters. Don't play in the dark. It's better to play gadgets in a sitting position. Set the time limit for playing gadgets. Don't forget to meet the needs as living beings such as eating, drinking, and sleeping, and others. That's all from me. I return back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Rasuna, for the great explanation. So, brothers and sisters, that bring us to the end of presentation. But before we close this presentation, let us hear the conclusion that will be delivered by Auntie Sulisanti. Auntie, time is yours.
Okay, the conclusions in this meeting is gadgets are tools that help humans, and it's natural that in this day and age everyone needs these tools. But we need to note that the wrong and excessive use of gadgets will change the benefits that were once good to bad. Therefore, it's very important for gadget users from young to old to know and apply healthy and wise ways of using gadgets. Maybe that's all the conclusions in this meeting. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Sulisanti, for the conclusion. So, everyone, let us close this presentation. Thank you all for your time and attention. Thank you for all presenter. Have a nice day and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.